Yo, what's going on, kings and queens? What's going on? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? It is your boy Will is blessed in the building. I hope all is well with y'all. I hope all is well with y'all. Listen to me, man. I am super ecstatic, super hyped, and I will say this, man. The reason why I am, for sure, is because um, I'm able to connect with all of you amazing people tonight. And so, yeah, listen to me, man. It's gonna be a good one. This is definitely going to be a good one, and I think it's major that a lot of us understand what it takes to really build a speaking business. Um, because one of the biggest mistakes that I do see is that so many speakers are focused on speaking, and that's all they're focusing on. And I can see why a lot of them don't see the results that they want to see or the success and the growth that they want to see, right? And so, um, yeah, this is gonna be good. So put a one in the chat. Let me know where you guys are tapping in from. Put a one in the chat. Let me know where you guys are tapping in from. All right. Put a one in the chat. Let me know where you guys are tapping in from. This is about to be good, man. So, first things first. If you are a brand new speaker, I want you to put one in the chat. If you have been speaking for quite some time, okay, I want you to put two in the chat. Okay, so one, if you're just starting your speaking career, and put two if you've been speaking for quite some time. One, Michigan. I see you. I see you. I see you. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, man, I think this is gonna be a good live, and the reason why I say is because there's not too many people that get on here and really give you guys some sauce, especially late night, right? And I want everybody to win, especially in the speaking game. Now, what most people don't understand is there going to be people that's going to tell you, you can land this type of money in this speaking, from this speaking engagement and make this kind of money. But the true fact of the matter is they don't tell you how long it takes them to do it. Right. So somebody may get a gig, right, for, I don't know, $10,000. You may look like, man, like I can make $10,000. They don't talk about the process to do that. And one of my biggest things that I don't want anybody to, struggle with, like I struggled with, was looking at somebody else's success and being paralyzed by the success, right? Meaning, it's like, yo, it's crazy how we see these people making money and making income, but on the back end, it's like, man, like how come I'm not seeing those results? How come I'm not seeing that growth, right? And so this is what I want you guys to understand, okay? Speakers get stages, okay? Speakers get stages, okay? Communicators get contracts, okay? Speakers get stages, communicators get contracts. Now, let me ask you this, and be honest with me, right? Let's be real. Like it's like a family reunion here, right? How many of you can honestly say, man, like, you know what, Will, like, I ain't gonna hold you. I've been looking at other speakers and seeing their success, and I'm like, I wish I can have that success, right? Let's be real. Like, how many of you can honestly say, like, yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, a couple times in my journey, I was like that, right? Or I may be like that still, right? Let me say this to you: admire success, but don't be paralyzed by it. Admire it, but do not allow it to paralyze you. Because the biggest thing that I cannot stand is how we're so focused on speaking, but we're not focused on building the business. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like I see so many people out here who have a great gift at what they do. You know what I'm saying? They're a beast at what they do. I see you, G Rod, right? See what you know what I'm saying? I see they're trying to become a better individual in this space. But the true fact of the matter is that I need you to find you. I need you to find you. Like I need you to find your brand. I need you to find your slogan. I need you to find your style. I need you to find your approach. And so let's talk about the business side of speaking, right? If you're watching this right now, I need every single last speaker to go to your bank account or your credit union and open up a speaker's account. That's first and foremost. I was talking to my elites last night, and pretty much, they know the golden rules and things of that nature because they're elite speakers, right? But I'm gonna say to y'all, and I see a lot of amazing speakers that's on here that's watching this as well. Go open up a speaker's account, not a savings account, right? Like go open up a speaker's account. And you may say, well, Will, what is the speaker's account for? The speaker's account is strictly dedicated to everything for your speaking business. I'm just saying to you, like, appreciate you, Queen. I see you in the building, right? Like your speaking business, your speaking account is strictly dedicated to your flights, hotel, okay, food. Okay. Now most people are like, well, I'll just put that on a business card. No, no, no. Don't just have all that stuff around. Be strategic in what you do, right? Have a specific account set aside specifically for your speaking business and optimizing your growth. Okay. Now, the reason why I say this, and I'm going to give you a real time story, okay? So, most of you have probably watched the last live that I did. Long story short, I flew into the wrong airport, okay? I was supposed to fly into Charlotte Airport, CLT. I flew into CHS. I flew into Charleston, okay? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, how am I going to get from here to there in 3 hours and 6 minutes? Right? That's how long it took. Now, I want you to understand this. Like, I had a separate account specifically just for my speaking business. Now, here's what most people don't tell you about, because there will be some speakers that be like, yeah, they paid for my flight, they paid for my hotel. But what you don't understand is sometimes they can be capping to you, because sometimes they probably did not pay up front their flight and their hotel. They're probably getting reimbursed. Be honest with you, they're probably getting reimbursed, right? Or they did pay for the flight and the hotel, right? And it worked out for them. Understand this. This is why I said be inspired, but don't be paralyzed by somebody else inspiring you. Because what's working for another speaker may not be for you. And a speaker that's making demands like that, best believe that speaker has what? Social proof. That speaker has a proven concept of what they do works, and their name is ringing some type of bell. Okay. Now, can you get that as a speaker that's not too deep in the game? I believe you can, right? But it's much more easier for you when you have more proof and you actually have been doing this for quite some time, right? Now, I'm the type of speaker that I love to, be the easiest to work with. I don't have to worry about all of those things. And although those things are amazing and cool, it sounds dope. You got to give me ground transportation from here and there. It sounds cool. It sounds dope, right? But I am just the individual that just, I'm just a basic person, right? Like I'm not tripping on all these other things. I'm not worrying about them. I'm just locked in on how can I create an experience for them. And I know, and it's worked for me, that the better the experience that I give to the decision maker in their team, the more likely they are to bring me back. Right. And of course, a great speech as well. Right. So I want you guys to go open up a speaker's account. Do it tomorrow. Do it before Saturday. Okay. Go open up a speaker's account and have everything dedicated. Now, the second thing that I would say to you, okay, we're talking about the back end of the speaking business, not the front end. A lot of you can speak. I'm not worrying about that. A lot of you know how to dominate the stage. A lot of you know how to light the mic on fire. I'm not tripping on none of that. But what I am tripping on is that many of you are losing opportunities because your back end is not on point. And I would hate for you to go out here and be doing all this speaking and you ask yourself, like, how come I'm not getting booked? How come I'm not getting more engagements? How come I'm not seeing more results? And I can promise you this, if you're not seeing the results that you want to see, it's because you're not focusing on your back end. Now, like I said, open up that speaker's account. Something so simple, right? Do you have to get an LLC before you do that? No, you can go do a DBA, you know what I'm saying? But let me say this to y'all. I highly suggest you go get an LLC, right? Because here's the thing. That's another thing. That's a great point, G-Rod, right? So having an LLC, and just for everybody to understand, like I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm everywhere right now, right? So I'm just reading the comments as they come in. But let me say this to you, right? If you want somebody to take you serious, take yourself serious. Go get you an LLC, right? Now, if you don't, go get a DBA. That's cool, right? Do business as your name, right? Whatever. But I highly suggest that you go get an LLC. Okay, and this goes for anybody, right? Stop doing business under your social security number. As basic as that may sound, right? And some people may be like, well, Will, that's not me. I'm not that's cool. But I'm talking to the individuals out here right now. Go get you an LLC, go make it happen, right? Now, I'm gonna put you on some more game, right? Because a lot of them, remember, we're talking about the back end of the speaking business. Okay. Every speaker here should have $1 million policy for insurance. I'm gonna let that breathe. I'm gonna let that breathe. No, I just want to help y'all. Like every single speaker here should have general liability insurance for the speaking business. Now, here's the thing. I want you to be so prepared to when the opportunity does come, you're ready for the opportunity. Like your job as the expert is when a decision maker asks you a question, you already have the answer to the question they're about to ask you. Do you have a website? Yes. Do you have an EBK? Yes. Do you have general liability insurance? Yes. $1 million policy? Yes. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Like it flows more smoother. You don't ever want to put yourself in a position to where it's like, oh man, like I don't think I got that. Right. And here's the thing. Sometimes if you're not getting the opportunity, don't look at it as a bad way. Look at it as like maybe I wasn't even prepared for the opportunity. Because if you were prepared for the opportunity, you would have everything that you need to be able to be prepared for the opportunity. And most speakers are not prepared for the opportunity because they're so focused on prepping their talk or their signature speech that they have not mastered their signature back end of their business. Right. So we'll get you a bank account, speaker's account. We'll get you some general liability insurance. Don't y'all ask me where you need to go, nothing like that. We teach that all in our program. Right. The third thing that I'm going to say to you is everybody here, you need to have some type of database, some type of CRM, right? Client relationship manager. As basic as that sounds, I promise you it will help you. I don't care if you have to write it down. I don't care if you have to put in an Excel spreadsheet. You need to have something that's letting you know, okay, this person's cold, this person's warm, this person's hot. I don't care if you got to write it down. I don't care if you got to put in an Excel spreadsheet. I don't care if you have an actual software to do it. However you do it, you do it. But every speaker should have some type of CRM, the way that you're able to keep in contact with leads, because this is a game changer. Like, can you imagine, like, you're out speaking and you're missing opportunities because you don't know who to follow up with? Grant Cardone says it best: the fortune is in the follow up. The fortune's in the follow up. So if I understand the fortunes in the follow up, then that means I need to be following up with individuals who I know are interested in what I'm doing. So let's just say, for instance, your team or you send out an email, right? Or you got off the phone, somebody say, hey, follow back up with me on late June. You say, okay, cool, I'll follow up with you. But you never took a note of it, right? You never put it in your calendar. You never did any of that. You were just hooked on the fact that, okay, I'll follow up in June. And because you think it's like, yo, that's a long period of time, I'll wait about it. No, that's not the way to do it. Like, you should already have an email prep to go out, or yeah, you should already have an email prep. Like, there are softwares to where when I find an individual and they say follow up at this date, I can right then and there create a specific email and send that out on that specific date. Right? This is the back end of the speaking business. People are not talking about it. They're just telling you, I'm going to show you how to go make a 5-figure contract. And then another thing they don't tell you about is that, okay, how am I going to land a 5-figure contract if I don't even know what I bring to the table? If I can't crystal clear convey what I do, right? Now, here's what I love about what I do. We just had a client that texted us the other day, and they said, yo, coach, you ain't going to believe this. I just landed a $90,000 contract, right? They're going to pay him 50 for his curriculum. They're going to pay him 20 to do a keynote. And they're going to pay him another 20 for staff development, right? Why does that happen? Because they understand the back end office. Okay. Now, shameless plug, right? But if you're a speaker and you're watching this and you would love somebody to run your speaking business for you and you don't have to worry about nothing, I highly suggest you join the Inner Quarter Speakers. Just a shameless plug. But anyway, going back to what I said, right? When you have that CRM on point, it allows you to keep up with the actual leads that you need to keep up with. It makes the job much more easier. Now, after you have that locked in, the next thing I want to say is you got to really focus on how are you going to position yourself as a speaker? Because again, right, everybody like, okay, there's nothing wrong with being a motivational speaker. I'm just not a big fan of it because I understand they don't have checks for motivational speakers. They just don't. Now, they do have a thing called the principals account if you're in the education space, to where they take all the money from the funding machine, you know what I'm saying? The vending machine, and, pretty much they use that, and that's called the principals account, right? And they take that to pay speakers. So that's why you may have a $500 gig, or $1,000 gig, or maybe a $1,500 gig, right? And that comes from the principals account, right? But there are other places that are looking for people, right? Real talk, I want to say this. Shout out to our inner court of speakers, elite client, Mia Perez. I was on a call with her today. What's going on, Marlon? Shout out to my booking manager. I was on a call with, Mia Perez today. And Mia Perez came into the program, killed it, murdering it. I mean, she is on point. She's a savage in what she does. She's a mental health expert, right? And I was on a call today, and I mean, from 1 opportunity. I'm not going to name the college or anything like that, but from one opportunity, okay, she's opening up more opportunities. And I mean, like, I can say this right now. She's probably, no, I don't think probably, I know she's going to generate anywhere between 30,000 to 60,000 in speaking fees. Easy, easy, especially from what they were saying and what but she's mastered what she does. She masters what she do, right? And so I'm asking y'all today, what is it that you do? Not motivate, because I mean, you'll get paid for it, but you won't get compensated well, right? So I want you to start asking yourself, what do I do well? Am I good in staff retention? Am I good at helping students graduate? Like, am I good at speaking to athletes? Right? Am I mental toughness? Like, find that core thing that you talk about, because I can promise you this: when the message is off, the marketing is off, and when the marketing is off, the monetization is off. You can't monetize if you're not clear on your messaging. And if you're not clear on your messaging, you're definitely not going to be clear on your marketing, and you're going to be speaking to everybody. This is why most speakers don't get on stages, because you're like, I speak to everybody. That's the worst thing that you can ever say. If I ask a speaker and they say, yo, I speak to everybody, I start looking at them and be like, oh, it's going to be a long day for you. Ain't nobody going to book you. Ain't nobody going to bring you in. Like, because you're trying to speak to everybody. Now, once you have mastered what you've done, that can open up opportunities for you to now, of course, be more diverse, right? So it doesn't mean I won't speak to a church. It doesn't mean I won't speak to no athlete. But when you become locked into what you do, it changes the dynamics of everything. And so I say to you guys, right, the back end of the speaking business is more important than the front end of the speaking business. Because yes, you're going to speak, but here's the thing. Depending on how you convey what you do is going to determine if they're going to even bring you in, right? And sometimes they'll just bring you in just to bring you in. They just need somebody to fill a spot. But if you're looking to do long-term work, if you're looking to position yourself to get, different types of contracts, then you got to be strategic in this. And this is why I told you, right? So many speakers don't have these certain things. Even speakers who are out here doing pretty well, like, they don't even have these certain things. But just imagine what can happen when you have the right things in place. It's going to expedite your growth, right? That's how I was. LOL. You helped me niche down, right? And this is Mia, right? Like, Mia came to us and, I'm saying, she was already doing good. But we locked in and we found that space and it was over, right? And so I'm telling you right now, okay, if you want to really be great in the speaking space, stop taking every engagement. Because when you try to take every engagement, you're robbing somebody else from blessing another different type of audience. Don't do that, right? Like, stay within your parameters and do what you do at a high level. You know you ain't supposed to be talking about bullying. You know you ain't supposed to be talking about mental health. You know you ain't supposed to be talking to staff. You know you're supposed to be focused on middle school students, right? Or you know you're supposed to be focused on specifically first generation college students. Like, you got to be strategic in what you do. Okay. And now, of course, the more proof that you have, now you can start figuring out where else you want to speak. Okay. The next thing I'm going to say to you is everybody here needs to go get themselves an email campaign software. Okay. I'm not going to let you know which one you need to get. We teach that in our program. You want to learn that? Definitely, join the Inner Court of Speakers or join Secret Sauce Speakers 3.0, whatever that may be. But every speaker should have an email campaign. Now, why is this important? Does anybody here love working countless hours? I'll wait. I don't think nobody that's watching this right now on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, wake up every day and just yawn and say, oh, I'm about to put in a quick 20 hours today. No, sir. Right? So you always have to understand the highest level of wealth is doing less, because thoughts run the world. I'm going to say that again. If you want to become more successful, do less. And I don't mean do less in regards to work ethic. I mean, find a way to become so good at what you do that you can delegate the things that you hate. Okay. So what you need to understand is that if I'm thinking more, it puts me in a position to create more products, more services for my potential partners, or even the clients that I have right now. Okay. So put yourself in a position to say, I want to work less. I don't want to be at a laptop. And that's what, and for me, I'm speaking to me, because in the beginning, I was at this laptop, y'all, and I can promise you, I was doing like 10 hours at this laptop. taking leads, popping leads in, taking leads, popping leads. I said, there got to be a better way. I said, this makes no sense. I said, man, I left the job to get a job. It's crazy. Like, I left the job to get a job. And so I started saying to myself, I said, Will, there's got to be a better way. And here I am, right? Because what we do is we say, oh, I'm grinding for the family. I'm grinding for the legacy. I'm grinding, for the squad. And the true fact of the matter is no, you're neglecting the squad. So when my daughter came to me and she's trying to show me her doll, I was saying, no, I'm busy. When my sons tried to ask me a question, I was like, no, I'm busy. And I started saying to myself, I said, you're busy because you're not being productive. I'm going to say it again. Y'all missed it. You're being busy because you're not being productive. And here's what I know. When I became productive, I became more successful. See, being busy means you're doing everything by yourself. Being productive is saying I'm relinquishing power so I can empower. This is so good. This is so good. Y'all gonna have to pay me for this episode. I promise you. Like, for real. Like, I said to myself, I said, I'm relinquishing power so I can empower other individuals who are better than me in what I do. Right? And guess what? When I focus on what I do and they focus on what they do, it's game over. Right? So I say to you, don't look to be busy, look to be productive. As simple as that sounds, if you just audit the mentality in the work that you do, it's going to change your life forever. Now, here's another thing that I see a lot of speakers mistakes that they make. They'll get a gig and then they don't actually follow back up with them, or they don't put themselves in a position to get another engagement. Right? Dream team, talk to them, Marlon. Right? So what does that mean? What that simply means, y'all, and watch this. What that simply means, y'all, is that every single time you speak, you should be following up and you should be building that relationship. I just want you to ask yourself this question, right? When was the last time from an engagement that you sent them something, right? Talk to them, Sizzo. The funds are in the follow. That's right, Queen. When was the last time that you actually sent something to them? When was the last time that you actually did something different from every other speaker? I'm gonna put you on some game, right? One of the things that we're big on in our speaking company, because I just want to put this out here. You're not a motivational speaker. You're not a speaker. You're a businesswoman. You're a businessman. Start thinking business. Start thinking business immediately, okay? One of the things that we do after every single call that we have, right? And whether they work with us or not, we simply say, hey, what's your favorite thing to eat for lunch? And they're like, huh? They're shocked. And the reason why they're shocked is because the average speaker doesn't do this. I promise you, I'm probably the only speaker that does this. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. Not me. Now, of course, because we give all these gems to our speakers in our programs. But I mean, the thing is this, and the true fact is this, is that when you think different, you receive different. Preach, Will. When you think different, you receive different. Think about it. How many speakers after a call is literally saying to the decision maker, hey, what do you like for lunch? Now listen to me, it don't cost nothing but $20. Hey, $20 on a Subway card, $20 on Chick-fil-A, $20 on some Domino's, Little Caesars, Chipotle, whatever. Hey, $20 on us. Go get yourself some lunch. They're like, oh my God, thank you so much. And Marlon, my booking manager, can tell you, like, we have converted heavily just off of that method, because you got to do something different. Now, on the back end, after every engagement, they paid you. Send them something. Send them something. Like, send them, I don't care if it's an iPad or a Michael Kors purse or maybe an Apple Watch. Like, get creative. Like, give something to where they're not going to forget you, right? Here's what I know. It's a proverb, and it will change your life. It says, giving gifts give access to important people. Okay? So in your giving, you are going to get somebody's going to give to you. And it may be a contract, it may be a referral, it may be another opportunity, right? Invest your seeds to build and keep the relationship and expand that part, right? And so I know some of you are watchers right now. Some of you are like, man, this is like, wow, like, this is crazy. Some of you are like, man, I'm past that level. The funny part about it is that if you're past this level, then you shouldn't be on this live. This ain't for you. But I'm assuming that everybody that's watching right now is like, yo, I'm taking notes. I'm taking game, because this is truth right here. What Coach Will is saying right now, this is truth. Like, it's 10:33. right? Or it's 7:33, right? Like, if you're on the West Coast, like, okay, like I see what he's talking about, and it makes sense, right? And I promise you, like, these are things that I do, not something that I read out of a book, not something that I heard somebody else say. These are actual things that I found out that actually work, and it's changed the trajectory of my speaking career. And so I want everybody to understand, focus on your back end more than you focus on your front end. Because and also when we talk about the back end, it's knowing how to sell. Okay. I had 2 meetings today with 2 of our elite clients. I showed them how to sell without selling, like through the whole meeting, right? And we there's 5 phases, right? So you build rapport. If you get on a call with anybody, you're building rapport. Okay. Then number 2, you send attention to the meeting. Number 3, you're investigating. Number 4 is the partnership. And then number 5 is the follow up. Okay. So you have 5 different phases or 5 different exits, whatever you want, 5 different ingredients. Okay. These 5 things are very important when you're selling. And here's the crazy part: we don't talk selling until they ask us what the price is. Now you're saying, well, what if they don't ask your price? Then you bring price up. But the purpose of it is for you to sell, right? To sell, to be able to make an offer. And shout out to Uncle Myron Golden. He says it best, right? You have to make offers. And if you're not making offers, nobody's gonna make this happen, right? And so I'm telling you right now, yeah, G Rod, you need to get in. You need to get in. I'm telling you, right? Like, you gotta make more offers, right? And here's the beautiful part about it. Okay. Um, the clients, they have the actual sales script from start to finish, like what to say, when to say it, how to say it. It's all on a golden platter, right? Shout out to Cammy, she's watching this yesterday. She corrected me. She said, "Not a silver platter, coach. It's a golden platter because you're giving that game, right?" And I'm telling you right now, like, a lot of you are phenomenal speakers, but that's not enough. Hate to burst your bubble. Like, being a great speaker is not enough. You have to know how to close. And if you don't know how to close, then you just a speaker with a great speech. And you sitting there and watching everybody else get on stages. And let me say this to you: just because somebody got on a stage doesn't mean they got paid. Stop assuming that every single speaker that you see get on the stage, man, they just spoke in front of 1,000 students or 1,000 staff members. Don't assume that everybody's getting paid. All right. Um, I've done 2 gigs, you know what I'm saying, this month, and I'm taking a month off. I mean, like, I just, that road is no joke, right? And these are the things that people don't talk about. Like, it looks good. You watch my stories and you see me get on a flight, you see me traveling, you see me, show you the video outside the window and all that. Sounds good and stuff like that. But yo, it's a journey. It's a journey. I'd rather be home with my family. And that's why if I'm going to leave, then it's got to make sense, right? But I've got to that level to where I understand how to close. I got to that level on how I know how to convey what I do. I got to that level of I have enough social proof. I have so much social proof that I don't even have to record another video ever again. And so I say to you tonight, before I let you guys off, if you are a speaker and you're watching this, okay, and you're like, Will, I'm looking to definitely work less, land more contracts, and most importantly, I'm looking to be able to get ongoing coaching, then you need to DM the word Miami. If you're on Instagram, DM the word Miami. If you're on Facebook, DM the word ready. Right. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of you are super talented, right? Kobe was talented. Michael Jordan was talented. But what happens when you take talent with mentorship? You get championship. When you put talent, right, and you put mentorship, you get championship. And the reason why many of you have not won no championships or you're not seeing the results that you want to see is because you keep trying to do it by yourself. Listen to me. If price is always stopping you, then you don't deserve to be paid as a speaker. I'm just being real. Like, if I ask a room of people and I say, yo, and I ask it a lot, I say, yo, who wants to be paid as a speaker? Hands go up. Then say, how many of you are willing to invest? Oh, I don't know. I got to think about that. Listen to me. If you're not willing to give up, you don't deserve to get a contract. Because all the speakers I know and the friends that I have in the speaking game, we all was willing to give up, to go up. Period. And so if you're an individual that's ready, we have three different ways that we can, work together. We can run your whole speaking business for you from start to finish. We'll build out your curriculum. We'll help you with your book. We'll help you build a coaching program, right? We're real big on that. And, of course, you'll get access to me, high level one-on-one calls, right? And pretty much that's our speaker agency, okay? Number two, you can join our group coaching community 3.0, where, again, we're producing high level speakers, and speakers are out here killing the game. Shout out to Roscoe and the $90,000 gig. Shout out to all the other amazing speakers that we have in our program, landing paid speaking engagements, right? And so that's an amazing community in itself. And literally, like, we're showing them how to land 5-figure contracts, right? So Inner Core Speakers is building a 6-figure speaking business. 3.0 is building a 5-figure business. But I'm telling you right now, it's a game changer, okay? So if you're looking to be able to be in the building, definitely let us know. We look forward to helping you to build your speaking business and maximize your growth. All right. So it's your boy Will is Blessed. Come let you know. Let's get it. Let's grow. Most importantly, let's be great. Peace.